massive about it.
Yes, people, what's happening? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another live show. Welcome to a new week. And of course, welcome to the home of the world champions. Big up to everyone that's already locked in. Make sure you're smashing up the like. Subscribe if you're new around here. All of that good stuff. Get involved in the chat. And as always, guys, it is a packed show. Loads to dive into. We've had a sort of a half-detonated bomber from Ornstein this morning in regards to Jorrel Hato. We're going to get into all the latest on that deal, contract, transfer fee, what the final negotiations that are holding things are up right now. The latest on the pursuit of Xavi Simons as well. Plus, interest from Newcastle in Nicholas Jackson. And according to one report, there's been preliminary contact and sources believe Newcastle value Jackson at about £65 million. So we've got loads to dive into in regards to the future of Nicholas Jackson. But you lot know what I'm about to say. First things first, make sure you check out Jersey's FC Soccer Shop. Link is in the description. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Make sure you're looking fresh, chat, in the home, away kit or the third kit when it drops. Great quality, affordable prices, names, numbers, patches, whatever you want on the back. Make sure you check it out. Use code BLUEBROTHER for 20% off. Link is in the description. Now, that's enough about that. Let's say hello to some of you lot, and then we're going to get this show on the road, people. I think Hato will be done first. I agree. ETH finished, as in he's gone. Hato will definitely be a Chelsea player. Ornstein, yeah, no, he will be a Chelsea player. Newcastle looking at 65 mil for Jackson. Yeah, I mean, look, again, that's purely only if Alexander Isak leaves, of course. I think reasonably for Newcastle stuff, yes. Yes, big up, brother. Thank you, bro. Appreciate you. Simons, Hato, and Donnarumma would be perfect. Bro, you're talking my language. Yeah, and I might say it every single fucking stream, but I won't get bored of it at all. I'll enjoy it here. I'll enjoy saying it every single day for the next just under 4 years that we're going to be the champions for. Yes, run the likes up. 65 mil should sell ASAP. I mean, by the way, there's no guarantees that Newcastle will come in with that money. Yes, big up, brother. Thank you. Appreciate your support, bro. Double Dutch week. Yes, it is the double Dutch week, chat. Double Dutch week coming in strong. Yes, people. Up the fucking Chelsea, as always, bro. Mate, me and you both. Me and you both. Yeah, bro, Sunderland are moving crazy right now in the window. Like, that is a big signing for Sunderland. They're having an unbelievable transfer window right now. Brother, I'm all good. Hope you are well as well. But let's get straight into it then. Because, as I said at the top of the show, chat, we had an Ornstein bomber. I say bomber. It is really sort of half detonated. Not a full-on massive explosion. One of them ones where, you know, like when they find like an old bomb that's been, you know, that's not been detonated, and they do a controlled explosion to get rid of it. That sort of thing. That's what this is. This is a controlled explosion. It hasn't just all gone off. Massive bomber. This is a controlled explosion from Ornstein. If we can describe it like that. I mean, it sounds a bit weird saying that, a controlled explosion from Ornstein, but you get what I'm saying, people. Anyway, this come out this morning, 9:40 a.m. UK time. Chelsea closing in on a deal to sign Jorrel Hato from Ajax. Agreement between Chelsea and Ajax yet to be reached, but getting nearer. Compromise expected in the coming days on the price above 40 million euros. Personal terms in place for the 19-year-old Netherlands defender. So this is really, chat, you know things are getting serious and the things are starting to heat up, and you know that they're close now. You know that they're very close when Ornstein puts it out, because Ornstein don't put stuff out unless it's done or it's very close. Those are the two things with Ornstein. He'll speak when it's close and he'll speak when it's done. Other than that, you don't hear from him. You don't hear from him. So they're expected to reach a compromise on a price above 40 million euros. Now, again, that is 34 million pounds. Yes, I think it's going to be a bit more than that. I suspect that 34 million pounds, chat, will be the down payment, and then there'll be more in add-ons. But I think the down payment could be more like 38 to 40 million pounds, and then obviously the add-ons. So that was the Ornstein semi-bomber from Ornstein. But then you get a bit more information from the Dutch media, and this guy Mike, I can't pronounce his second name whatsoever, so I'm not going to even try. Mike Verwijs. Anyway, he's a very, very good Dutch journalist. Writes for the Dutch Telegraph. I think this is quite a big paper in the Netherlands. And he's saying in and around Ajax, they say that a fee of 50 million euros, so 43.8 mil, would be a wonderful amount, despite asking for between 48 and 52 million. Both parties are expected to meet in the middle somewhere, and it's not that far away. I mean, guys, I think that we could. I think that we could get a here we go for this either today or certainly tomorrow. Certainly tomorrow. And look, it's difficult this because you look at the price and you sort of think, well, everyone seems to cost like basically 40 plus million these days. Everybody in the transfer market who's half decent seems to cost over 40 to 50 million. That just seems to be the price. However, I think, yes, obviously, as fans, you know, it's not our money. To a certain degree, we shouldn't really care what money we're spending. As long as we're not going to go bust or break the rules, we shouldn't really care because it's not our money. And what we should more be thinking about is, does the player that we're going after, does that player improve the team and does that player make Chelsea better? If the answer to those things are yes, then within reason, we shouldn't care about how much he costs. Obviously, yes, if it was 100 million, 60, 70 million pounds, you think, okay, perhaps that's a little bit too much. But ultimately, before speaking about transfer fee or wages or anything like that, the number one thing that you've got to think about, chat, is does the player improve the team and make Chelsea better? And if the answer to that is yes, then the other things are, I'll be real, the other things are irrelevant, to be honest. The other things are irrelevant. They absolutely are. They absolutely are. You know, that's the reality here, chap. They are. The other things are irrelevant. Just get me players that improve the team, and then we work the rest out later. 19-year-old, so means he needs game time to develop. Wonder if Cucurella to Al Nassr. Nah, bro. There's going to be no Cucurella to Al Nassr. By the way, yes, he's 19, but if you look at how many games he's played, over 100 games for Ajax. He's already a Dutch international. He's played in European competitions, has captained Ajax as well. I think he captained the Dutch under-21 national side. He's got leadership experience. He has got experience and he's played at a top level. And what Chelsea will be doing here by securing Jorrel Hato is getting someone who can play at left back and centre back. And also, when Cucurella does move on in the next probably 2, 3, 4 years, you have got someone who in that time will be 22, 23, ready to step into the mantle and be Chelsea's number one left back. This is a signing that ticks all the boxes, chat. It ticks all the boxes. And Hato will also learn loads from Cucurella. It's literally the perfect signing for us. It's literally the perfect signing for us, chat. There couldn't be a better signing for us in this position. There literally couldn't be a better one. Ajax played 2 friendly games, and in both, Hato was not in the squad. No, he wasn't in the squad. No, but that was his decision because the move to Chelsea is close. And yeah, that was his decision not to be in the squad. Get the Hato deal done with for Cucurella backup. Yeah, he can play centre back, but chat, I'll be honest, I don't see him playing an awful lot of centre back for us. I don't see him playing an awful lot of centre back for us. Yeah, come on, chat. 177 in the building already. 61 likes. Let's get this up to 100 likes as quickly as possible. Yeah, we're going to get onto this. We're going to get onto that. Thoughts on Hato, left centre-back, Colwell, central centre-back, Reece, right centre-back, with Cuckoo overlapping. Well, I'm not really quite sure how that would work. I mean, look, in possession, right, if we're inverting from the right-hand side, Hato will come in and play left centre-back. If he's starting at left-back and we're inverting from the right, Hato will naturally form part of that back three on the left side, which is why the fact that he can play at centre-back as well is very important, chat. Is very, very important. Absolutely no denying that whatsoever. That is going to be very, very important. No, it's not complete silence. We're in negotiations with Leipzig. I really don't think there's anything to worry about in regards to Xavi Simons. Yes, run it up, run it up. What else is people saying here? As long as Chilwell, Sterling, Broja, Vega, and Kunku and Disasi are all still here, bro, those guys will all be gone. Those guys will all be on. Yeah, they'll be gone. We'll move those players on. Whether it's a loan or whether it's permanent, none of those players will be at Chelsea this coming season because it's not in anyone's best interests for any of those guys to be there. It literally isn't. So I've said it all along. Do not stress about outgoings. We will get the outgoings done. They will be done. But a lot of those names you mentioned, they will go right up towards the end of the window. But it's absolutely nothing to panic about. Nothing to panic about whatsoever. We should offer Ajax 38 plus 5 in add-ons. Yeah, that would do it. And yeah, and then there's been a bit more on Hato. This we'll get to the details of the contracts that have come out. Romano again adding, Chelsea and Ajax will again be in direct contact from the start of the new week for Jorrel Hato deal. It's clear the player only wants Chelsea. Simple. Only wants the Chelsea. When you're massive, you're massive. Only wants the Chelsea chap. You know, that's just, these are the sort of players that we want. These are the sort of players that we want at the football club. You know, very, very simple. You must want to come to Chelsea. It's not like, well, Chelsea will be an option. I'm happy to come there. But if something else happens, I'm also happy to go there. No, we don't. I don't think we need a new centre-back anyway. Because if Hato comes in, he can fill in at centre-back if needed. So, yeah, it's all good. Bro, again, Nkunku's got clubs interested in him. We just need to, as I've said, we just got to relax on that. We just got to really relax on that sort of thing. There really isn't anything to worry about. Those players will not be here. They will not be here, chap. Yeah, and that's a really good thing. You know, you really want players that actually want to be at the football club. That's so important. So important. Massively important, chap. Yeah, I agree on that. I mean, Guiu, I think, could be more likely Championship, to be honest. And even, I'll be honest, Tyreek George to somewhere like Coventry under Frank Lampard would be a great move. Would be a great move. So that was that one there. Let me just find this. Let me find this other tweet, chat. Nico Shearer, I think is the guy's name. That's the one there. Where is it? I mean, I'm going to have to translate this. Oh, there we go. Wonderful. So we can bring this up as well. I don't know how reliable this guy is, but he seems to have some information on the deal. Reportedly, Jorrel Hato to Chelsea from Ajax at the final stage for 50 million euros. Contract until 2033. Big up the death row settings. CFC were already at work for this transfer from May. Hato has always been a main target for Maresca. And that's the most important thing, chat. That is the most important thing. You know, bro, I've gone through that. I've done that. I've seen it. So yeah, it's going to be 50 million euros, probably, we'd imagine. Contracts, what, 2025? 8-year contracts, standard par for the course. Yeah, that's what we do. That is what we do. So yeah, look, again, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out that it will be a 7 or 8 year deal, so 32 or 33 in terms of contract length. And yeah, look, it probably will be 50 million euros or in and around that 50 million euro mark. Yeah, that's all the latest on him, chat. That is all the latest on Jorrel Hato. And I've got the feeling something's coming. It's coming. You know, whether it's today, whether it's tomorrow, it's coming. It's definitely coming. Like a bid as well for Alexander Isak is on its way from Liverpool as well. That's coming. You know, you can just sense when something's on the way, chat. You know, I've just got that feeling. You can smell it in the air that this Hato bomber is getting ever closer, ever closer. You know, we're not far away now on this one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know where Ansel Mina's going to go. I don't know what the plan is for him. I'm sure there will be a plan for him. When are the squad back? August 4th is the date they're due back. Did you see how fast the owners came out to rubbish the Isak rumours? Bro, I'll be real. We're not going to get Garnacho. I'm pretty certain on that. So, yeah, Jorrel Hato, it's now very, very close, chat. It's now very, very close. There really isn't anything to worry about on that front. It's just negotiation. It's money talks. And again, what it will come down to is the total package. And the biggest thing, really, how much of the money is going to be up front. How much of the money will be up front. That's the reality here to what happens. Now, people asking about Xavi Simons, people getting a little bit, you know, worked up about Xavi Simons. Oh, where is he? I'm worried. Calmer. Let me share the screen now. This was an update from Romano this morning. There it is. Double Dutch the Chelsea. Chelsea maintaining total confidence to sign both Jorrel Hato and Xavi Simons. Negotiations continue this week with Ajax after total agreement with Hato last week. Deal close. Xavi Simons wants Chelsea, and talks with Leipzig on the fee/structure of the deal are ongoing. As I've always said, chat, this deal's going to happen. It's just the final negotiations. The final negotiations of fee and structure of the deal. Everybody just needs to relax. You know, the Simons deal will happen. Yes, Arsenal and Bayern Munich are reportedly sort of lurking in the background a bit. If you know, they're reportedly lurking in the background, but both. I mean, look, I've got no inside information, nothing like that or anything along those lines. However, I think it's pretty clear, chat, that these two deals will be done this week. They will be done this week, whether it's today or we have to wait a little bit longer. No, bro, I'm keeping Fofana. You know, look, he's got another opportunity as far as I'm concerned. However, if there's another season where he misses the majority of the season, then yes, conversations need to take place. Conversations will need to take place, chat. You know, there's no escaping that. Conversations will 100% need to take place. Yeah, bro, I've seen this message many times. Thank you. Donnarumma has made it clear to PSG after rejecting their third and final offer for contract extension. Bro, have you just made that up? Bro, where's that been said? I mean, I imagine that has that been made up? I don't know. Has that been made up, chap? Nah, bro, Donnarumma is not worse than Sanchez. Are you mad? Top skill sports. I'll be honest, bro. I've never heard of them before. I'm not sure if have they ever got anything right. Are they actually reputable? Are they reliable? I mean, I've never heard of them. Never heard of them. But I mean, they sound a bit fraudulent. I can't lie. They do sound quite fraudulent. I'll be honest. Yes, but he's not worse. He's not worse than Sanchez, though. Yeah, no, I know. Yeah, the secret scout is very good, but I'm pretty sure the secret scout hasn't said anything about Donnarumma, has he? Let me check his page. No, it doesn't seem to be nothing about Donnarumma on the secret scout. Nah, nothing about Donnarumma on the secret scout, chat. Bro, that's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is. But yeah, look, the only thing we know about Donnarumma is that he's out of contract next year and he's not signed a new contract yet or not agreed a new contract. And PSG are closing in on the signing of Lucas Chevalier from Lille. So make of that what you will. Yeah, but bro, it doesn't matter how many followers they've got. Number of followers does not indicate you being decent. You know, that doesn't mean that. Look, maybe it happens. I don't know. Maybe it is true. You know, in a roundabout way, maybe it is true. I've got no idea. But yeah, I'm struggling to believe that to be the case. Struggling to believe that to be the case. No. I mean, if they have, they have. But all I'm saying is I've never heard of them. But again, exactly. Yeah, when you put out so many posts, you know, eventually you will get something right. You will get something right. You know, I could tweet out, Donnarumma to Chelsea, exclusive. I've got no information about it, know nothing about it, but it could be right. Bro, I wouldn't say it was washed at all. You know, he was very good in the Champions League last season. He absolutely isn't. Yeah, I've not looked at the page, but that wouldn't surprise me. You know, wait for a big reporter to put information out there, and then just piggyback off the back of it. That sounds about right. I can't lie. That does sound about right. Chat, we're almost 300 in the building. 5 more likes to 100. Let's get this stepping, people. Let's get this stepping. Keep smashing the subscribe button as well. If you are new round here, that would be greatly appreciated. Road to 20,000. Every new subscriber helps. But run the likes up and subscribe if you're new around here. I don't know. I don't know. You know, I've got. I don't know. You know where Donnarumma is going to end up or what's going to happen with Donnarumma. Bro, I'll be real. Donnarumma's not going back to AC Milan. Why would he swap? Why would he go back to AC Milan where there's no European football, no nothing? Like, why would that? Why would he do that? Somebody please answer me. Why he would do that? Because I'm a little bit confused by that. I'm not sure really why any of that would happen. Yeah, I don't think he didn't leave AC Milan under good circumstances at all. But anyway, we'll get onto that. But yeah, look, Xavi Simons, literally nothing to worry about. We're just negotiating the structure and the payment terms and all that stuff, all the boring stuff in transfers, and there we go. You know, that's it. Simons and Hato will be Chelsea players. Will be Chelsea players next season. You know, very, very simple. They will both be Chelsea players next season. No one has got anything to worry about on that front. Yeah, bro, can you stop putting that in the chat? So someone in the mods time him out if he keeps putting that in there. It is well annoying. Yeah, and it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Everyone needs to relax. Everyone needs to relax. Oh, bro, I'm timing this guy out. Put user in a timeout. Hold on a second. I need to time this guy out. There we go. Fantastic. Timed out. So yeah, anyway. Yeah, look, I promise you, we're gonna, this is gonna get sorted out, chat. This is all gonna get sorted. No issues whatsoever with any of these deals. We'll get it done. We will absolutely get it done, like we always do, chat. Like we always do. Right, let's move away from Simons, Hato. Let's talk about Nicholas Jackson, because there's been a report today. Trafford to City is virtually done. He's having the main part of his medical today. So yeah, that deal is going to happen. So there's already been preliminary contact made on Nicholas Jackson by Newcastle, but Chelsea are quoting teams an astronomical £80 million fee. Sources believe Newcastle's valuation is closer to 65 million. Let's see. Is there any? Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can get this article paywalled. Doesn't look like it's paywalled. Oh, of course it's paywalled. Everything's fucking paywalled. Fuck off. That's obviously going to be the bit on Jackson. So, yeah, look. Jackson is going to stay. I've been very, very clear on my stance on this one. Jackson will only leave if he wants to, or if Chelsea get a ridiculous offer for him. Newcastle, yes, they've added him to their list of targets. However, if Isak leaves, Newcastle looking at Benjamin Sesko. Newcastle also want Johan Visser. I don't think Newcastle will sign Benjamin Sesko and Nicholas Jackson. I just don't believe. I just don't think they are. I just don't think they will. I really don't think they will, chat. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, Jackson will be staying. This just in from Ben Jacobs. Newcastle have told Leipzig they are prepared to pay over 60 million for Benjamin Sesko. But I'm pretty sure that Leipzig have wanted more than 60 million for Sesko anyway. And if I was Benjamin Sesko, if Newcastle is my only option this summer, I'd be doing another season at Leipzig and then reassessing my future next summer where more teams could be interested in me. By the way, Newcastle's not a tin pot club. Newcastle is not like, going to a fucking, I don't know, a Burnley or something. There's Champions League football. They win trophies, They are a big club. They are a big club. But I just think for Sesko, if he goes somewhere else, if he waits a year, there could be more teams interested in him next summer. That's all I'm saying. That's it. That is it, chat. But even then, I do not look. Even if Newcastle bid 65 million, I cannot see them paying that. I honestly cannot see Newcastle paying 65 million pounds for Nico Jackson. They just aren't. He's a player who, is very. I think he can be very, very useful for Chelsea in the squad. But again, as I've always said, if you sell someone, you need to bring someone in who is better in that position. If we sell Jackson, right, please can someone tell me, realistically, who can we get that is going to be better than Nico Jackson in this market, who is realistic? So, someone please tell me. Because right now, whenever I ask this question, I get no realistic answers back from anyone. I get no realistic answers back from anyone. Bro, the plan is not to keep Guiu as third choice. Guiu's going on loan. That is the plan. Chelsea's plan is to send Mark Guiu out on loan in England somewhere. Bro, I'm not sure how clear I have to make this. If you sell a striker and you're happy, you telling me that you are happy to go into next season with one striker, one out-and-out 9 in Liam Delap, first season at Chelsea, and João Pedro, who is a 9.5, can play number 9, but is not an out-and-out 9. So what we have to realize here is, guys, we are playing 4 competitions next season. We are back in the Champions League. And people are saying to me, oh, it's all right. We can just go in with Delap and Pedro. Sorry, am I losing my mind here? Am I losing my mind here that people are thinking that's okay? Have I lost it? Am I missing something here? Maybe it's me. Maybe it's me. I've got absolutely no idea. All right, this guy is going. Get rid of this guy. That guy is gone. Absolutely finished. No, again, not true. Not true. I don't believe that to be the case, bro. Yeah, exactly. It would have to be a significant amount of money. You need three strikers in your squad. I don't get why this is so difficult to understand. Why is it so difficult to understand that you need three centre forwards in your squad? Because if you have two and one gets injured, you are down to one centre forward. And then you're in a situation where you're playing fucking wingers as centre forward. And you don't want to be in that position. You saw exactly what happened last season. Bro, Pedro can play as a striker, yes. But he's not what you would say. We didn't sign him to be a number nine. We signed him to be that versatile attacker. Yes, he can play nine, but he's not an out and out number nine. He'll play there and he'll play quite a lot as number nine, but he's not an out and out striker, is my point. Bro, we're not getting Isak. Isak is Liverpool and Liverpool only. Yeah, I know. It's I don't get it. You know, I don't understand, why people are struggling to understand the concept of having squad depth. It's a real strange one. Yeah, as am I, as am I. Bro, we're not going for Sesko. Sesko and Chelsea's already been ruled out multiple times because Chelsea viewed the lap as a similar profile to Sesko and a similar play style, and therefore we're not going for him. Therefore, we're not going for him. Um, bro, anyone, Chelsea will sell anyone for the right price. If someone came in and bid 300 million for Cole Palmer, they would probably sell. That's the that's the reality. Everybody has their price. Everybody, if someone bids 150 million for Correa, Chelsea would sell because everyone's got their price. Um, bro, we used to have Drogba, Crespo, Johnson. Remember when we used to have Drogba, Anelka, Remy, Bar. When the most successful times, we had three centre forwards in the team. Three. No. All I'm saying is, I've said that he will play a lot as centre forward. All I'm saying is that he wasn't signed specifically to be a number nine and only a number nine. That's all I'm saying. But everyone's just presuming he's third choice. Everyone's just presuming that, you know. Everyone's presuming that's going to be the case. It might not be the case. Why is everyone just presuming that Liam Delap is automatically going to be ahead of Nicholas Jackson? People are just presuming that. We don't actually know that. We can have an idea. We can think certain things, but no one actually knows whether Jackson is going to be the third choice or not. And I don't think Maresca will look at it like, oh, first, second, third choice. It will very much be different players for different games and different players for different situations, depending on how the game is panning out and depending on the type of opposition. One game might suit a Liam Delap better. One game might suit a Nico Jackson better. You know, I don't look at it as, first, second, and third choice. It's more about, the options. Exactly this. Bro, we're not getting Julian Alvarez, no. Because if one striker gets injured, which is very likely at some point in the season, you are playing one centre forward. He did his ACL, and then yeah, I don't really know what's going on with him. Exactly. No, bro, Chelsea are not moving for Sesko. It's been reported multiple times. Chelsea will not be moving for Benjamin Sesko. I'll be real. I don't even see Newcastle bidding for Nicholas Jackson. I think the only way that Newcastle bid for Jackson is if they sell Isak and if they get rejected by Sesko. Then I could see them moving for him. Other than that, you know, I think it's very clear where Jackson is in Newcastle's priorities. They want Sesko and they want Johan Visser. Yeah, Sesko's at RB Leipzig. Sesko is at RB Leipzig, chat. Yeah, I think he will. Again, I think Voltemade's got terms agreed with Bayern Munich, but again, there's no agreement between Stuttgart and Bayern, and that's all gone very, very quiet on that. So, yeah, I don't really know what else is going on. I mean, it's going to be a very interesting one. But yeah, chat, I don't know what's happening. No idea. And there's also, by the way, there's also no guarantees that the lap's just going to suddenly hit the ground running and be unbelievable. You know, let's see, because you can guarantee there will be injuries. There will be injuries next season. There will be suspensions next season. Look, you could be right. But I just don't see a team coming in with a big enough offer for Jackson, which Chelsea would accept. And there's no indications at all that Jackson wants to leave. All the reports on Jackson's future are very much stating he wants to stay and fight for his place. So, yeah. Look, he is capable of that. That ability is there. I'm gonna have to scroll to the bottom. Yeah, bro, we're not doing this false nine business. Just use specialists in their positions. No, you can't take the piss with centre forwards. Centre forwards need to play centre forward. It's very simple. 100%. You know, I don't want to go into I don't want to go into Champions League games playing Pedro Neto up front or playing Xavi Simons as a false nine. You know, we got to move away from that. You know, you've got to have a squad of players who can fill multiple roles. You have to. So that we got to move away from this. Oh yeah, let's just play a Pedro Neto or a Xavi Simons there or whatever it might be. We've got to move away from that way of thinking. We have to move away from that way of thinking. That's something that I wouldn't mind seeing. You know, Jackson coming in off that left-hand side with the lap up top. But again, it's something that Maresca has not tried, and it's clearly, I don't think it's something that that he will like. He was younger. That guy's much younger. He was in age groups below. That's not been confirmed. That hasn't been confirmed. There are talks that that's going to be the plan, but that's not been confirmed at this point. That's not been confirmed at this point. Yeah, he basically isn't for sale. You're right when you say that. When you put that valuation on a player, you're basically saying he's not for sale. Bro, you have to think about the worst case scenario, because it's naive to think that it'll go through a whole season and your two strikers will stay fit for the whole season. Like, why would you presume that? You've always got a plan. You've always got a plan worst case, you know. And yes, they might stay fit for the whole season, but you're taking a massive, massive gamble by having no real insurance policies. And you're just, you know, presuming that your players are going to stay fit. I mean, maybe, but again, there's been no links at all. There's been no links at all. Mate, Roy just plays the game very well. He knows exactly what he's doing. He says divisive things that are going to get people talking. He knows how to play the game to a T, and he's made a career for himself out of it. So you have to almost applaud that in a certain way. But I just ignore what he says, because what he's saying is just to get clicks and be divisive. And he's very, very good at it. He doesn't believe, I don't even think he believes half the stuff that he says. But he says it because it gets traction and it gets people talking. Bro, we need a goalkeeper as well. We need a goalkeeper. But look, let's wait and see if Newcastle come forward with anything. I still think that there won't be any bids for Jackson. And even if there are bids, yeah, of course he does. There's loads of them, and the pictures have been doing the rounds on social media. There's loads of pictures of him in Chelsea gear and whatnot. Loads. But anyway, chat, we're still over 220 in the building. 144 likes. Keep smashing that like button. Let's get this up to 200 likes, chat. Bro, that's very wishful thinking. Very wishful thinking. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens with Jackson. Let's wait and see what happens. I still feel the same as I felt all summer, that he will remain at the football club unless he decides that he no longer wants to be here, or unless Chelsea say to him, you're not part of the plans. That's literally it. The only two ways he goes, if he says he wants to leave, or if Chelsea tell him he's no longer part of the plans. Those are the only two ways in which these scenarios play out. Bro, don't say that. Don't say that, brother, because people will come for you. And look, Jorrel Pedro, I like him. Big fan of him. Made a brilliant impact at the Club World Cup. But you're absolutely spot on in what you say. Absolutely correct with this comment, in my opinion. Why are people speaking? By the way, Delap and Pedro could be miles better than Jackson next season. That's absolutely a possibility. But I agree with you on this. Why are people, not everyone, but why are a lot of people acting like it's a guarantee Delap and Pedro will be better than Jackson? They're presuming. They're not really, but they're basing it on 3 games for Pedro at the Club World Cup. Delap did okay at the Club World Cup, but he wasn't amazing. Yeah, he scored a goal and he was a bit of a handful, and he did a good few bits and pieces here and there. But yeah, it's a strange one. You know, they both could do better, absolutely, but it's not the guarantee that a lot of people are making it out to be. Jackson scored more goals in his first season in the Premier League than Delap did. You know, I don't understand why people have got this thing where they need to tear down their own players. I don't understand that. Yeah, bro, look, fantastic goals at the Club World Cup with Delap. Brilliant impact, but 3 goals in 2 games has suddenly made people forget about 2 years of, in my opinion, decent work. Yes, a lot of chances missed. Yes, a lot of frustrating moments. Yes, a lot of things that need to be improved upon. But people have got very, very short memories. Very, very short memories. And people's opinions have definitely been changed by the fact that Jackson picked up 2 red cards. Nobody is having anywhere near this level of outrage if Jackson hadn't got 2 red cards, or if he just picked up 1 of the 2 red cards. This is what I'm talking about here, chat. This is what I am talking about. Is that people form opinions strongly on recency bias. Bro, every striker misses chances. Every striker misses chances. But what I would say is, I'd rather my striker miss chances than not get in a position to have any chances at all. That's the reality. But Jackson, I'm not saying that Jackson should be first choice striker, by the way. He should be a rotation option. And the numbers that he puts up are more than fine for a rotation option. More than fine. The problem we've got with Jackson is because we didn't sign any other strikers and we put him in a position of being first choice striker when he shouldn't have been put in that position. People are now holding Jackson to the standards of a first choice number 9 at Chelsea when he's not that guy, you know. And if you actually take a step back and look at his numbers, for a rotation option, there's no problem with that. But it's because Chelsea have not signed any other strikers in the last 2 years, and Jackson has been put in a position of being the first choice striker and the main number 9 when he shouldn't have been put in that position. People are holding him to the standards of a first choice number 9. If you get what I'm saying. No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. But look, if he gets sold, he gets sold. As I've always stated, if you're going to sell a player, make sure you bring a better player in. Bring me a better player in. Because if you sell Jackson and bring in a youngster, you're making the squad worse. That's the reality. You know, you sell Jackson, you bring in like a 19, 20-year-old, you're making the squad actively worse. And that's the reality here, chat, is that we don't want to be in a position where we are actively deciding to make the squad worse. That is not what we want to be doing. I think he does as well. I think he does as well. But again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And if I'm wrong, hold my hands up. No problem. Bro, there's no one's going to bid that. No one's going to bid that. That's the thing. Look, if an offer of £65 million came in, then Chelsea would obviously give it serious consideration. But the fact of the matter is, chat, is that no one's made a bid for Jackson yet. And there's no indications from Jackson himself. Bro, we had one striker last year. We had Jackson, and that was it. And other times we had to play fucking Nkunku and a raw as anything Guiu. We had one centre forward, which is why Jackson played all the time, even when he shouldn't have done, even when he was going through a terrible. Bro, of course he could leave. Anyone could leave. Could leave doesn't mean going to leave. Of course, you're going to cover yourself and say that he could leave. Because if you come out and say someone absolutely isn't leaving and they end up leaving, you look pretty stupid. Of course, he could leave. Anyone could leave the football club. You know, like, just because someone said, a player could leave, it's nonsense. Like, I'm not waffling at all, but you thinking that because Fabrizio said someone could leave, they're just covering themselves. They're just covering themselves, chat. Potentially, but again, their first choice to replace Isak is Sesko. Their first choice to replace Isak is Sesko. But look, let's wait and see what happens. Let's wait and see what happens. As of now, everybody views Jackson as too expensive. No offers have come in, and he's always maintained that. So yeah, we wait and we see. We wait and we see. We wait and we see. Simple as that. I would like Jackson to stay, but I'm also not going to lose any sleep about it if he leaves. You know, if he leaves, he leaves. And as I've always said, just bring me someone better. Just bring me someone better. Because if we sell him and then if we sell him and no one else comes in, then it's a little bit of a problem, in my opinion. Then it's a bit of a problem, chap. Yeah, there's been nothing. There's been nothing on Mark Gurhey. Nothing on Mark Gurhey. Nothing at all. It's all gone very quiet in regards to him. There were links to Chelsea early in the summer. There's been links to Liverpool, but everything has gone very, very quiet on his future. And look, maybe people will wait a bit later in the window, or maybe he'll just go on a free next summer and he can pick where he wants to go, big signing on bonus or whatever, and we go from there. Bro, I agree. I agree. If Jackson goes, I don't see Chelsea going in for another striker, and that will massively backfire on us. That will be massively backfire on us. Exactly, and this is what people are failing to understand. If Pedro or Delap get injured, and you've sold Jackson, you don't bring anyone else in, you're fucked. How is that so difficult to understand? Because if you've got Pedro and Delap, and Pedro gets injured, then you're literally you're going to play Delap every game. That's not really how this works. That's not really going to run. That's not going to run. He won't only play as a striker, because he can also play as a number 10, and he could play wide if necessary. Yes, granted, he will probably play most of his minutes as a centre forward, but he will also play in other positions. Yeah, but you can't just make big decisions based on presumptions. Oh, it's unlikely because they haven't been injured much before. You know, for me, you can't really be taking those gambles. But I don't see why it's a bad thing to have Pedro, Delap, and Jackson in the squad. Why is that so bad? Why is that so bad? You know, it's strange. I just don't get why it's such a big problem. Guiu's going to leave. He's going to go on loan somewhere in the Championship, or maybe Premier League. I don't know. I would suspect Championship, personally. Yeah, I would suspect Championship, chat. I mean, I don't know for certain, but that's what I would expect. But again, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But let's see what else is going on right now, chat. Let's have a look what else is going on. Let's have a quick look. Right, this is a little update on Xavi Simons. Little update on Xavi Simons from Ben Jacobs. Understand, this is just now 1:09 p.m. Yeah, a couple minutes ago. Understand, excuse me, Chelsea are preparing a formal offer for Xavi Simons following positive talks with Leipzig. Discussions have accelerated over the last few days. Massive. So here we are, chat. Things, first offers expected to go in. Formal offer for Xavi Simons following positive talks. You'd imagine, following the positive talks, that this will just be a one and done in terms of bid. Because we've been talking all this time. You're not going to put in a bid that's been rejected, are you? You know, surely that's just going to be accepted off the bat, no? You would surely think that, because what would be the point of all these things, and then suddenly you would put a bid in to be rejected after all those conversations. That doesn't make any sense, chat. It doesn't make any sense at all. So I would expect this bid, when it goes into Leipzig, to be accepted. Otherwise, all those talks were just a complete waste of time to put in a bid that would just get rejected. So yeah, that's going to be expected soon. Preparing a formal offer on Xavi Simons. And then in regards to Jorrel Hato, chat. In regards to Jorrel Hato, Chelsea, this must be from a YouTube video. Chelsea are prepared to get Hato deal done in next days or even hours. It's advancing to final stages. Hato believes in the Chelsea project and to become a superstar at Chelsea on a very long-term contract. Let me just bring that up on the screen. I thought I'd already brought that up on the screen, but I didn't. There we are, chat. So Hato could be done today. I would expect tomorrow. But you just never know. You just never know. We could get that in a few hours on Hato. But, chat, we will wait and see. We will absolutely wait and see. Guys, we're 166 likes, still over 200 in the building. Keep smashing that like button. We're about 30 likes short of the 200 mark. So let's get this up to 200, chat. Keep smashing the like button and keep subscribing if you are new round here as well. That would be greatly appreciated. Greatly appreciated. So run up the likes, get this to 200, chat, and yeah, keep subscribing if you're new. 100%. I don't know, is it Hato or I guess Hato? I don't know. Jorrel Hato, Jorrel Hato. I actually don't know because I haven't really heard anyone say it. I would probably say it was Hato, but it could easily be Hato. I've got no idea, to be honest. But yeah, that's going to be done very, very soon. Very, very soon. So it's just a waiting game now. It's just a waiting game. That's all it is, chat. That's all it is. What bid for Hato? I would go in at probably say, I think, look, 40 plus 5 is very fair. Maybe 40 plus 5. Bro, I don't really see why anyone's not relaxed about this. This is very simple. You know, there's nothing to not be relaxed about. We can absolutely relax. Everything's going to be all right. Everything's going to be just fine. Everything's going to be just fine. Do you think we'll get deals done before we start? Yeah, absolutely. Deals will be done for pre-season for sure. Are we confident with Sanchez for this season? Personally, no. But I think we're just gonna have to accept that the reality of the situation is that's what it's going to be. It's going to be Sanchez. It's going to be Sanchez. Very simple. And yeah, that's just the way it goes. That's just the way it goes. Yeah, bro. This is from the video. Yeah. I don't think so. I personally don't think so. I could be wrong though. I could be wrong. I could be wrong. Yeah, I agree. It is really the only unconvincing position we've got left is the goalkeeper. You know, if you could get a Donnarumma or you would have got a Manyan or something along those lines, then yeah, suddenly things are looking good. If you can get those positions across the line, chat. If you can get those positions across the line, it's suddenly looking excellent. It is suddenly looking very, very good. But yeah, it would be a shame if we can't get a goalkeeper this window. But everything else is looking good. Everything else is looking good. So yeah, I don't think there's anything to worry about. I don't think there's anything to worry about, chat. So we will see on that. Bro, again, we got to stop doing this judging players on one game. We know how good Donnarumma is. And Donnarumma, like the idea that people are not sure if Donnarumma is a better goalkeeper than Robert Sanchez, that sounds absolutely mental to me. Absolutely mental. This idea that people don't think Donnarumma's better than Sanchez. I mean, that's quite crazy in my view. I'm not really too sure what's going on there. Yep, we've done this. Yep, gone through that. So yeah, it's just a matter of time with Simons, as suspected. Yeah, I I agree with that as well. The chance was Sanchez. The opportunity was there to do Sanchez, to do Munyan, and we didn't take it. Whether another opportunity presents itself later in the window, maybe it will. Maybe it will. But right now, it's very much looking like we're going to go into next season with Robert Sanchez. Yeah, there will be two good signings, Hato and Simons. Yeah, for sure. We know this. We know this, chap. Two good signings are going to come through for us, guys. Definitely going to come through for us. Yeah, Donnarumma's been Donnarumma made his debut for AC Milan, I think, at 16. That's 10 years ago already for Donnarumma. He's 26 now. But yeah, he made his debut for AC Milan as a 16-year-old in fucking goal. I mean, that when you think about it, that's absolutely wild. That's absolutely wild. Debut in goal for AC Milan as a 16-year-old. 16. I don't think people are deep in how mental that is. But I think the Garnacho swap is ruled out anyway. I think the Garnacho swap is already ruled out. If I was Sesko, would I go to Man United or would I go to Chelsea? Sorry, to Newcastle. I don't know. I don't know what I'd do if I was Sesko. Newcastle or Man United? I mean, in the short term, you're absolutely Newcastle. But long term, you would probably be better off at United. And United are a way bigger football club. United are a much bigger football club. No doubt about it. They are a miles bigger football club. But how long is it going to take for them to start being competitive again? That's the big thing. So yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Donnarumma won the Euros with Italy. It was great in that shootout. Trouble with PSG. Bro, it's not a bomber. We've already covered that. It's literally just saying we're preparing a formal offer for Simons. We've done that. We've covered that. So yeah, look, the Donnarumma stuff. There's been nothing with Donnarumma in Chelsea. Literally, Chelsea gets mentioned with Donnarumma because we're looking for a goalkeeper, and there's a chance that Donnarumma might leave PSG. Put 2 and 2 together. There's your story. You know. So it'll be very interesting. Going to be very interesting. As always, Philip Hint's tweet or Heinz. Let's have a look at him. Let's have a look what he said because he is a Sky Germany reporter. Let's see if there's anything in it from him. Maybe this is what Dodgers has just tweeted out. And yeah, it's exactly what the Chelsea Dodgers have just tweeted out. Let's have a quick look at this. Chelsea are preparing their first offer for Simons. Yep, we know. Chelsea, Xavi, and the players' camp are optimistic about a possible deal after the talk so far. Leipzig wants £60 million all in. Yeah, very, very simple. Very, very simple, chat. Very, very simple. Yeah, nothing much more to say on that front. But yeah, 60 million euros, including add-ons. That's basically the same price that we paid for, sorry, 60 million pounds, including add-ons, is the same price we paid for Joao Pedro. That's kind of the going rate for these kind of players. 55 plus 5. I think that's, I don't see any issue with that at all. A nice little 55 plus 5, and we move on. But yeah, essentially, there's not really anything new in the Simons updates. There just isn't really anything new in the updates. You know, that's it. Nothing major, nothing particularly new. Bro, I'm telling you, the Twitter money probably isn't that great. I don't think people are making a fortune off Twitter. I'll be very real on that. Yeah, I'm going to drop it as well. Xavi Simons will be a Chelsea player. Don't know when, but he will. Big bomber. No, because because you know of course we're going to prepare a formal offer because we've been in negotiations for weeks, for a couple of weeks. Of course, that's not new news. You're not going to have conversations and then not make a bid for the player, unless the demands are ridiculous. But you would have found that out very, very quickly, if they were. Is the point that I'm making here? Yeah, I would say as Xavi Simons is obviously a better deal than the Madueke signing. But you know, Madueke knows the Premier League. Simons doesn't, but I'm sure that he can easily adapt to it. And yeah, we just wait and see, basically, chat. We just wait and see. But I would like to think that Simons would do better than Madueke next season, but it shouldn't come as a surprise if Simons doesn't do better. That shouldn't be a surprise. Doesn't mean that he's worse or anything like that. But we'll wait and see. We'll wait and see, chat. Chilwell, there's nothing. Sterling, I mean, there's been loose interest from Fulham. He was offered to Napoli, but again, no offers or anything have come in for him. No offers have come in for him. So we'll see. No, it's coming. It's coming. It's on its way. Well, we'll see. We'll see on that. We'll see on that front. You know, that's what we need to wait and see. But yeah, look, the deal's progressing. It's going to happen, and it's just a case of when. No, look, Chilwell and Sterling will be gone. Chilwell and Sterling will absolutely be gone. I don't think there's anything to worry about on that front. Chat, we're 7 likes away from 200. Keep smashing that like button. We are almost there, chat. We are almost there. Let's get these final 7 likes chalked off and keep hitting the subscribe button as well. But yeah, run these likes up. Let's get it to 200, guys. Keep it pushing. Yeah, they'll be gone. Honestly, as I've said, let's not worry about those things. You know, we don't need to worry about the outgoings. They will happen. They will happen, chat. They will happen. No problems at all on that front. They will absolutely happen. I'm convinced of that. You know, I really am convinced of that, chat. Yeah, that's 60 million all in. That's 60 million all in, 70 million euros, 60 million quid all in. So, yeah, we're kind of as we were, chat. We're kind of as we were. And we're just waiting. It's a waiting game. No, the Simons deal will happen this week. I don't see it taking another week to do this Simons deal. I don't see it. I don't see it at all. You know, things are virtually agreed with the players' camp, and you know, we just got to keep it stepping. We've just got to keep it stepping. Very, very simple. Very, very simple, chat. Very, very simple. So yeah, that's literally it right now. Well, ultimately, I think these deals will happen, and it would have to take an absolute miracle or a disaster for them not to happen. I think we can definitely speak with confidence that these deals will happen. I think we can definitely speak with confidence that the deals will happen. I don't see why we couldn't do that. I don't see why we couldn't do that. Bro's just practicing. That here we go. The here we go has not come for Simons. He's just practicing, getting ready. But yeah, the here we go absolutely hasn't come. The here we go has not come. No, how are we overpaying for Simons? How is 60 million including add-ons overpaying? It's not overpaying at all. When you look at the market rate for players, we spent the same money on Joao Pedro. You know, that is very much market value and a decent deal in my mind, in my view, for Simons. I don't think that's overpaying at all. It was always going to be more. It was always going to be more than 50 million. It was always going to be more than 50 million, guys. Simons won't be backup. Simons will start a lot of games. He'll be an option. He'll be an option. You know, and he'll be a very important option, and he'll play a lot of minutes. He'll play a lot of minutes. There's no doubt for me that we are getting ourselves a decent deal. Guys, final 2 likes. Run it up, run it up. The final 2 likes to the 200. So yeah, let's get it done, chat. Let's get it done. I hope so. I hope so. We definitely got players with more players with an eye for goal. So I would like to see us. I would like to see us get more goals from more attacking players. There's no reason why all the attacking players we've got can't really get us 10 goals each in all comps. Why couldn't that happen? Why couldn't that happen? You know, I think there's definitely a chance that can happen. So yeah, let's wait and see. I've got absolutely no idea. I don't know. If he signs, then there could be a chance. Only if players leave. Only if important players leave. Only if important players leave. Well, look, let's see. Let's see. But I still maintain that he'll end up staying. And if he does end up staying, then we'll find out. We'll find out and we'll see. We'll find out and we'll see on that one, guys. We absolutely will. Yeah, and this is what Maresca's always said. He doesn't want one player that scores like 30, 40 goals. He wants like 5 or 6 players that are going to score you 10 to 15. And I think that's a much better way of going about it. That's a much better way of going about it, in my opinion. I mean, I could be wrong, but that for me is much more sustainable. You want that amount of players who can score those goals. That's what you want. Yeah, Lucas Chevalier to PSG. Agreement reached. Agreement reached. Agreement reached. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens with Donnarumma. Very interesting to see what happens now with Donnarumma. As you were. Getting closer, getting closer. Yeah, sounds about right, mate. Sounds about right. But yeah, anyway. Let's have a quick look if there's anything else coming through, chat. If not, we will round this one out here. Let's just check. Let's see if there's anyone live that we can redirect to. Is there anyone live we can redirect to, chat? Oh, let's redirect to Ziad then. We can redirect to Ziad. He's live. Let's give him a redirect. We'll do that. But anyway, chat. Big yourselves up. Big love for all the support right now. It's greatly appreciated, guys. Bro, this shirt incredible with the Magic Man number 4 Cesc Fabregas on the back. Great shirt, this one. But yeah, guys, big yourselves up. Thank you for all the love and support. As always, it's greatly appreciated. Another really good show, guys. Smash that like button on the way out. Subscribe if you're new around here. Get over to, this is going to redirect you to Ziad. Get in the chat with the Blue Brother Raid. And yeah, I appreciate each and every single one of you. Let's hope we get a Here We Go over later today or tomorrow. I'll be back covering any Here We Goes that we get. If not, chat, I'll catch you lot again tomorrow. Up the Chelsea, and we're out. Smash the like, subscribe. Love.